baby, gather round. We've got Vulgar Mario, delayed Switch games, COD 2024 already on Switch, and Hogwarts Legacy finally shows its face. Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. I hope you're all doing amazing out there. It is a good day in the gaming world. Sonic Superstars out today, Mario Wonder out in a couple. Let's get into the news, though, so you're up to date and know what's going on. If it's your first time here, welcome. I have blue hair. That's all you need to know. All right, we finally get to see Hogwarts Legacy. A miracle port is still planned for November 14th of one of the largest open world games, and somehow this is coming to Switch. It was initially supposed to be released day and date, then it got pushed, then it got pushed, then it got pushed, and now it's finally coming out in less than a month's time. But we haven't seen a single shot of the game until today. Came up on the Japanese eShop 4 pictures, and I gotta say, it looks good. These screenshots actually show a very competent port and one that has been done with care, at least based on stills. Obviously, seeing the game in motion is a different story, but we're not getting anything like, whoa, that is so fuzzy. Whoa, that is so ugly. It looks like it could be another Miracle Switch port. If handled with care, like we saw with The Witcher 3 and plenty of other titles, this could be a nice, sneaky holiday season pickup. And as somebody that barely dipped my toes into Hogwarts Legacy's waters when it first came out, I'm interested. I'd rather play that thing portably, and if it runs good on Switch, this could be a wonderful spell to cast on yourself or a gift that you want to give to somebody in just a couple of weeks. Now, you will have to wait about a week more for a recently delayed Switch game because this morning, Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl 2 was pushed back 4 days, but also pushed back 28 days. So we had Nick All-Stars Brawl 2 launching on November 3rd, and they announced today that it's going to need a little more time. So the eShop version is dropping November 7th, just a 4-day delay. That's like nothing. Maybe in time for one patch push, I don't know. But the physical edition is going to release on December 1st. Very interesting. So something is a little bit amiss with that game's final development patch, final development, like tidying up, final bug fixes. If you were excited for it and getting back into the Nickelodeon roster, then you can still get it just a few days later digitally. But if you are a physical fan, you're gonna have to wait. Love this one here. Well, I don't know if I love it. Maybe I hate it. It's interesting. Let's go with that, okay? Mario Wonder is my most anticipated game. It's out in a couple days, cannot freaking wait. And one of the coolest things that sets Mario Wonder apart is there's freaking voice-acted dialogue. Tough to say for a Mario title because that doesn't usually happen. But we've got flowers from the Flower Kingdom opening their mouths and articulating exactly how they feel. Some people have already modded their feelings to be a little less modest. We've got inappropriate flowers calling out all sorts of swear words and interesting phrases in some modded Mario Wonder stuff. Obviously, you know, I don't recommend and I don't condone modding the game. I don't condone any of that, but I just found this too hilarious not to talk about it, at least briefly. The freaking obnoxious flowers, I'm kind of living for it. I think it's kind of a good look, and it reminds me of like Angry Rossetti. Back when he was actually angry, they really muted a lot of the villagers in Rossetti and even Nook for New Horizons. But back in the day, man, these are the kind of things you could have expected out of those AC people. I mean, without the vulgarity, of course, but they had a similar angry vibe. Of course, we got to talk about the latest news for Switch 2 because it's everywhere. And I want to quickly say, like, we are in October. They do have an investor meeting coming up in a few weeks. I don't want to, like, jinx it, but perhaps something does happen soon. Anyways, what's happened right now is that we have an update to a very interesting Call of Duty Black Ops 2024 rumor. All signs point towards Call of Duty going back to the Black Ops franchise in 2024, and we know that Microsoft, now the proud papa of Call of Duty, is looking to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo Switch as part of their effort to woo all of the advisory boards that needed to approve the Activision Blizzard acquisition so that they could say, hey, Call of Duty, it's not going to be exclusive. We'll put it everywhere. We'll even put it on Nintendo Switch. Now, we know it's not coming to the current Switch, but Switch 2 is expected to launch next year. And so getting next year's Call of Duty, while frankly a quick turnaround, is possible. And this is super interesting coming from my buddy, Dr.81, who posts that he made a video a few months back on how this Treyarch level designer was working on something Now, to fill in some details, there was also a post about how Treyarch was hiring for Nintendo Switch development help, which clearly they wouldn't be doing and haven't done unless someone is going to be making a game for Nintendo Switch soon. Anyhow, this person's LinkedIn profile said that their level design work on unannounced Treyarch title, and this was all linked together and interesting because this could be someone working on the Nintendo Switch version of Treyarch's unannounced 2024 Call of Duty that we all know is going to be Black Ops. Well, after Dr. 81 made his video, they changed their profile to now just say working at Treyarch without any of the specifications on the unannounced 2024 title or that they're doing level design work on said unannounced Treyarch game. So Dr. 81 is putting these together and saying that he believes that they were asked to change their profile after his video came out because it did indeed prove that this person was working on the 2024 Black Ops game that will be coming to Nintendo Switch. Now, believe you me, this is not official confirmation. You should grain of salt this up, but I think more than 1 grain, maybe like 27 grains. Because why would this person change their LinkedIn profile? It's very interesting. And why change it just after Dr. 81 called them out? There's been all sorts of rumors about this being a Black Ops title, so if that is what Treyarch took issue with, they would have made this change a long while ago. It seems like it's specifically in response to the Nintendo Switch part of this rumor that caused the intern to become an intern instead of doing level design work. Now, maybe this was just a mistake, and you could say that this is getting really granular, but stuff like this is what leads us to uncover plans ahead of time. And I do believe Call of Duty will be on Switch soon, and getting it ready for a holiday 2024 launch on Nintendo Switch 2 would be a killer first wave from Activision Microsoft to bring COD to Nintendo Switch 2 and to capitalize on an early onslaught of excited users ready to play these games in 4K for the first time on a Nintendo console and for the first time on a Switch console, because there isn't a single Call of Duty on Switch. There isn't a single Assassin's Creed on Switch. There isn't a single Far Cry on Switch. We could go on and on down the list. So many franchises could get their first blush of Nintendo action with Nintendo Switch 2, and I fully expect it to happen. More and more we've heard rumors, reports, leaks, all sorts of stuff about how Switch 2 is really doing promising things. Switch 2 is really catering towards a third-party market. Switch 2 is really going to open up Nintendo and their access to all sorts of franchises and games that they previously did not have access to. And the Switch was already so successful without them. This is sort of the final piece of the puzzle that Nintendo needs to fully dominate the space, even though they're already dominating it. So think about that. The Switch 1 has been so successful. The Switch 1 has won the hearts of gamers. The Switch 1 has been an absolute godsend for Nintendo in terms of their company's success and a total turnaround from the Wii U. And now we're adding a piece of the puzzle that was kind of the only missing piece for Nintendo. We're adding 2 pieces, really, because we're adding the performance graphics piece and we're adding the third-party day-and-date major IP, major franchise piece. It seems like a complete puzzle now. I don't know what more they need to be ultra successful. And I think when people talk about, oh, they want to draw the Switch out as long as possible, I don't think they really worry about that because they know Switch 2 is going to kill it as well. What does it matter if one system is still doing well if you know the next system will do as well again? And maybe there's, no guarantees, but it really seems like they're setting up. As long as they handle the transition well, as long as the system comes in at a reasonable price point, as long as it does perform the way that we've been led to believe it will perform, this is going to be a phenomenal freaking system. And getting games like Call of Duty will be awesome. And you'll still have all your Nintendo titles, you'll still have all your smaller ports, you'll still have all your indies. You're not losing out, you're only gaining. And I think the Switch 2 can only gain for Nintendo as well. Let me know in the comments down below if you're excited about COD being on Switch, possibly next holiday at launch. That would be huge. Do you like Vulgar Mario? Or do you hate him? And what do you think about the way Hogwarts Legacy is shaping up on Switch? Do these screenshots get you more excited, or do you still want to see it in full motion action? Love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Until next time, SwitchForce out.